So a common thing people do is they buy something and then rent it out so that they can have it for free. They think they're going to offset their cost of ownership by renting it out, and it doesn't always work like that, especially if you like something that isn't necessarily required in your area. A great way to start a rental business anywhere is to see what is generally needed and nobody is filling that, right? So you don't want to go out and buy a piece of machinery that you're only going to use once, right? So why wouldn't you just rent that? Scaffolding is a perfect example. You got to use scaffolding on the side of your house. Yeah, it's only $800, but what are you going to do with it? You got to then stick it in your garage and move it around, and you use it once every 7 years. If somebody was renting it for $100 a day, seems like a much better play. So that's what I did here. Taking dirt on-site, off-site was a very frustrating experience for me while I was building my house. You have to pay to get it off, pay to bring dirt back on, and it's not like the dirt's coming back for free. You're paying to dump it somewhere, and then you're then paying to get new dirt on the property. That's no fun, and that's where this new business I just launched with my buddy Tyler called Super Screeners started. As guys, we tend to take a lot of steps to try to mitigate going bald or just to hide the fact that we are balding. And you got the old comb over, all these things that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, I think I look pretty good, but everybody else sees everything else. And that's not the solution, right? The solution is actually treating the problem versus masking the problem. And that's where today's video sponsor, Keeps, is here to help. Most guys start experiencing hair loss by the time they're 35. That's very young, and it's not a process that reverses itself. Now, would they like to keep their hair or regrow hair? Absolutely. And that's where Keeps is going to come in, and they're going to remove the hurdles that prevent most guys from treating the condition. Who likes the process of going to the doctor's office, the pharmacy, and standing in line for everything? Nobody. That's why Keeps, you can get good quality expert care without ever visiting the doctor's office or a pharmacy. All Keeps treatment plans are delivered straight to your door for about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Keeps are going to help you select the right products and treatments for your specific condition and hair goals so you can create a routine that works for you, because products that you don't use are pretty much worthless. Easily subscribe to Keeps and get refill reminders so you'll never run low on the products you need to take care of your hair. To get a special offer on Keeps treatments, visit keeps.com/SSR. That's KEEPS.com/SSR. I put a link right below in the description, keeps.com/SSR. All right, part of being successful in things is recognizing when you have a problem that other people may also be having that problem. And my next venture, albeit not the most sophisticated, is dirt. You can see all the rocks here and all the standard milled around fill, and that's a problem to me and other people as well. And now I have a solution. And here is my solution. This is a soil screener. You guys probably are not familiar with it, but what a soil screener does, and there's different sizes of soil screener. This is more of a manageable one that we could pull around on wheels. And this one is going to be ultimately a rental. And we're gonna rent this out to people. I obviously will use it on my property to screen my own soil, but then this will save people a lot of expense. And we'll get into that in a second, but let me just show you the overall working of this. So you go from the back of this, you drop dirt on it with rocks in it. You say you use a backhoe or you use a bobcat or something like that. And the big rocks will roll down on the top. And then the finer material, this is a 3/4 inch screen, which is vibrating the whole time. And this will make 5/8 inch topsoil, which is effectively industry standard there. And this is just gonna vibrate everything. The dirt will go vibrate and go through, and you can scoop it up from the other side. And then you just scoop it out from this side. You'll have nice fresh topsoil on this side, and then you'll have a big pile of rocks on this side, which obviously you can either have hauled off property, you can use them on property as just sort of like natural stone features, or you can have it chopped up and somebody can use it for something else. So this is a very, very simple machine. It's got a 1.5 gallon tank up here, and it's got a Honda GX 200 motor. So if the motor ever goes, very, very simple to fix. It's gonna make a very easy to operate rental. People can come hook it up, hitch it up, and then solve a problem that would normally be thousands of dollars moving soil on and off property. And this also presents opportunities for somebody that wants to do a side hustle. Because if you just want to rent this for the day, rent a Bobcat for the day, and sell your service for $2,500 a day, that's still going to be awesome. And that's still like a good way for somebody to make $1,000 a day, 10 times a month, booking out work. And then somebody's now making $120,000 a year without owning anything and just renting everything. You can take a deposit that covers your rental fee, go do the job. Money can be made when you get creative. And this is solving a problem that didn't really exist. I tried to rent a soil screener and nobody had one. And I said, all right, guess what? I'm gonna start a business renting soil screeners. I'll start with one. If that gets busy, I'll get a second one, a third one, a fourth one. And don't sleep on the blue collar work, because there's a lot of money. You see a lot of like, hey, how's that landscaper driving a Lambo? Or how's that plumber got this? How's this? And the answer is because you don't want to do it because you're too good for it. But if you decide you're not, you get yourself either a side income like I have, or you're going to have a full-time gig that pays for your family and a pretty nice lifestyle. All right, we're on site here at my house, and we're using the soil screener for the first time to give me a good base to put my sod or hydro seed, whatever I end up doing. And you may ask, why not just backblade? Because backblading will give you something like this. You still have all the rocks and everything in it. And also, when you put grass on it or whatever, if a kid falls, it's still a rock 1.5 inches underneath. So we're gonna screen it all out and you'll see exactly what you're gonna end up getting. But even when you try to clean it up, it's still not the cleanest. You're just sort of raking the top. But I want a nice 2 or 3 inches or maybe 4 inches of clean fill, which is much nicer to work with. Pretty right there. All right, little machine putting some work today. And we've got this all cleaned out. I mean, obviously you can look at the ground. This is where we backbladed it, so it's not really a big deal if you see some rocks in there, because that's gonna be covered with all of this nice, smooth dirt. So I think we did a good job here. Very happy with the purchase, much better than spending. And like that pile of topsoil over there cost me almost $750. But that's for 17 yards of topsoil. However, I'm using that to plant the trees. So it's mixed with like nutrients like manure and a little bit of dye to make it look darker and cool. But we'll get these trees planted tomorrow. Finish off the wall up here. And we should be good to go. There is my new venture. It's my job to solve a problem and then tell people they also have that problem, sell them the solution, which is renting that. Bye.